There's a memory you've tried to delete. Maybe it's something you said years ago and still wince at. Maybe it's a face, a room, a version of yourself you'd rather not be reminded of. You've decided, clearly and firmly, that you're finished with it. And every single time you push it down, it comes back louder. You're not weak for this. You're not broken. What you're fighting is a glitch in the way the human brain handles forgetting. And it has a cruel design feature built right into it. The harder you fight, the stronger it gets. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly why that happens. You'll see what your mind is really doing in the moments you try to forget. And you'll know the one thing that genuinely loosens a memory's grip, which, it turns out, is almost the exact opposite of what you've been told to do. Let me show you instead of just telling you. For the next 10 seconds, do not, under any circumstances, think about a white bear. Don't picture its fur. Don't imagine it moving. Whatever you do, keep it out of your mind. You thought about the bear. Almost everyone does. And if you manage to push it away for a moment, notice what that took. You had to keep checking that it was still gone. In the 1980s, a psychologist named Daniel Wegner ran this exact experiment, and it revealed something strange about all of us. You cannot simply decide to not think about something. The instruction to forget becomes a reminder of the very thing you're trying to lose. This has a name. He called it the rebound effect. And underneath it is a mechanism that, once you see it, you can't unsee. When you try to suppress a thought, your brain quietly splits the work in two. One part of you goes hunting for a distraction, anything else to focus on. But a second part is handed a very different job, to scan constantly in the background, making sure the forbidden thought hasn't returned. And here is the trap. That second part can only check whether the thought is gone by holding the thought in mind. So while one half of you is trying to forget, the other half is keeping the memory alive on purpose, visiting it again and again, like pressing on a bruise just to see if it still hurts. You're not failing to forget. You're accidentally rehearsing. Every attempt to bury the memory is one more quiet repetition of it. And it gets worse exactly when you're tired or stressed or lying awake in the dark. Because the half of your mind that goes searching for distraction, that's the part that runs on effort, and effort runs out. When it's depleted, it simply stops doing its job. The scanning half doesn't get stronger. It just keeps running, unopposed, with nothing left to push back against it. That's why the thoughts you fought off all day come flooding in the instant your head hits the pillow. Not because they grew, but because your guard finally dropped. But this raises a question that feels almost unfair. Your brain forgets 1,000 things you'd love to keep. Names, passwords, whole conversations where you set your keys down 10 minutes ago. So why does it hold so tightly to the one memory you'd give anything to lose? The answer is in how memories get stamped in. In the moment something painful or frightening happens, your body floods with stress hormones. And those hormones work like a highlighter. They tell the brain, this one matters, remember this. Burn it in, it's an ancient survival system. Whatever hurt you once could hurt you again. So the brain decides you are not allowed to forget it. The trouble is, that system can't tell the difference between a real danger and an old embarrassment. It guards your worst memory the way it would guard against a predator, keeping it sharp, close, and ready for a threat that passed long ago. Now here's where everything turns. For nearly a century, scientists believed forgetting was just the brain wearing out, memories fading like ink left in the sun, a kind of slow failure. They were wrong. We now know that forgetting is not a breakdown at all. It is an active process. Your brain has dedicated machinery whose entire purpose is to weaken and clear away the memories you no longer need, much of it happening while you sleep, quietly pruning, making room. Sit with what that means. Forgetting isn't your mind failing you. It's a skill, as deliberate and as necessary as remembering itself. A brain that could forget nothing wouldn't be wise. It would be unbearable, drowning in every slight, every loss, every humiliation it had ever collected. So the goal was never to delete the memory. You can't, and the chasing is exactly what keeps you trapped. The real goal is quieter than that. It's to take away the memory's power to ambush you, to move it from the front of the mind, where it attacks, to the back of the shelf, where it simply rests. So if forcing it makes it stronger, what actually works? Two things. And both of them are the opposite of fighting. The first is almost insultingly simple. When the memory surfaces, don't shove it away. Let it be there, and then name it. Say it to yourself plainly, this is the memory of that night. This is the feeling of being humiliated. It sounds like nothing. But when you put a feeling into words, you switch on the thinking, reasoning part of your brain, and as it comes online, it turns down the volume on the alarm center that's been keeping the memory loud. Naming a thing tells your brain that it's understood, and a thing that is understood is no longer treated as a threat. The second is about the loop. Every time you deliberately replay a memory to finally deal with it, you refresh it. You walk the path back to it, and you wear that path a little smoother, a little easier to find next time. But the reverse is also true. When the reminder appears, and you let it pass without chasing the memory down, without diving in, without reliving the whole thing, that path begins to fade. Not all at once, but over many small moments, the trail grows over. You're not erasing anything. You're simply stopping the daily watering of something you wanted to let die. This is the part almost no one tells you. You don't win by gripping harder. You win by loosening your hand. One honest note before we close. If a memory comes from real trauma, if it doesn't merely visit you but ambushes you, if you relive it, body and all, rather than simply recall it, that is not something a video should try to fix. That's a sign to reach for real support, from someone trained to help. And there is no weakness in that, none at all. What we've been talking about here is the everyday kind. The replay, the cringe, the conversation you keep re-arguing in the shower, the thing that visits you at 3 in the morning and asks you to suffer it one more time. So, stop trying to forget. The memory was never a stain to scrub out. It's a guest you've been wrestling at the door. And the wrestling is the only reason it's still standing there. Let it in, name it, stop feeding it, and slowly on its own, it will lose interest in haunting you. You were never broken. You were just fighting the one battle that gets harder the harder you try. Subscribe to Grit Harbor. Each week, we take one of the invisible forces shaping human life and make it visible, calmly, carefully, and grounded in real science. And remember, no one here has to weather the storm alone. There's one last thing your mind does with all of this replaying. All that quiet rehearsing, all that nighttime scanning, keeps your body switched on long after the day is done, which is why you can sleep a full 8 hours and still wake up exhausted, tired in a way that sleep doesn't seem to touch. There's a reason for that too, and that's where we go next. Thank you for staying with us.